Have you ever seen the ocean glow at night and wondered, how is that even possible? Today we're exploring creatures that shine in the darkness. Animals that carry light inside their bodies. Creatures so radiant that they turn the deep sea into a living constellation. And stay with me until the end, because the final creature produces a glow so bright and so complex that scientists still struggle to understand how such a tiny organism creates such a breathtaking display. Let's begin. The Bible tells us that God spoke light into existence. Light is not merely a physical property. It is a gift of God, a symbol of His holiness, a comfort in darkness. And in the depths of the ocean, in places where sunlight cannot reach, God placed creatures that shine with their own light. Bioluminescence, the ability of living organisms to produce light from chemical reactions within their bodies. It is not magic. It is design, precise, purposeful, beautiful. Many reformers saw creation as a way God whispers truth. Bioluminescence is one of those whispers, a reminder that God shines light even in the darkest places. Now, let's meet the glow-in-the-dark creatures that make the ocean sparkle with the beauty of God's imagination. The first creature glows like drifting ribbons of blue fire, the Dinoflagellate. These tiny organisms live near the ocean's surface. Their plankton small, delicate, and astonishing. When disturbed by waves, by a boat, by a passing fish, they flash a brilliant blue. A chemical inside them reacts instantly to movement. The result? A glow so mesmerizing that shorelines sometimes sparkle as if stars have fallen into the waves. This light serves a purpose. It startles predators. It illuminates danger. It warns other creatures. But the beauty goes far beyond survival. Watching bioluminescent waves reminds us that God did not create a dull universe. He filled even the oceans with marvels that stir the human heart to awe. But dinoflagellates are small. Let's look now at a creature whose glowing body drifts like a floating lantern. The second creature shimmers with gentle pulses of light, the comb jelly. Comb jellies are not true jellyfish. They move using rows of tiny beating plates called cilia. When light from the surface hits those moving plates, they scatter the light into shimmering rainbows. But that's only half the story. Some comb jellies produce their own light from inside their tissues. Soft blue glows that flicker through their bodies like living candles. This glow is used to confuse predators or signal to others in the dark. The sight of a comb jelly drifting with its glowing ribbed arcs is one of the quiet wonders of the deep. Like a hymn sung without words. A reminder that God fills even silent places with beauty. But the next creature uses its glow in a way far more dramatic. The third creature flashes like lightning inside a predator's mouth, the ostracod. These tiny crustaceans have a remarkable defense mechanism. When swallowed by a small fish, they emit a burst of bright blue light. The sudden illumination startles the predator. The fish opens its mouth. The ostracod escapes. A tiny creature using a burst of light to save its life. God equipped them with exactly what they need for survival. Not by chance, not by accident, by intention. But ostracods do more than defend. In some species, males perform bioluminescent courtship displays. They swim in patterns, leaving glowing trails that look like underwater fireworks. Their light becomes communication, beauty with purpose. But now we turn to a creature whose glowing lure is one of the most iconic images in all of marine biology. The fourth creature carries a lantern on its face, the anglerfish. Deep in the darkness where sunlight never penetrates, anglerfish glow. Not their whole bodies, just a specialized lure. The glow comes from symbiotic bacteria living inside the lure. Fish approach, drawn by the light, and the anglerfish strikes with precision. Its lantern is a trap, a picture of how light can attract and reveal in the deep. But the anglerfish also teaches humility. Its glow is not its own. It comes from microorganisms God designed to work alongside it. Even in the deep sea, relationships matter. Cooperation matters. Design shines through every detail. But the next creature uses light not to hunt, but to communicate. The fifth creature drifts like a glowing parachute. The Atolla Jellyfish. This jellyfish floats in darkness far below the sunlit world. When attacked, It flashes a dramatic display of pulsing blue rings. The lights ripple across its bell in circles. A living alarm. What's astonishing is that scientists believe the Atolla jelly uses this display to summon help. Its bright patterns attract larger predators who may chase away the attacker. A distress signal. A cry for rescue written in light. This design echoes the truth that God built into creation patterns of interdependence. No creature is truly isolated, even in the deep. But the next creature uses light like fireworks. The sixth creature is small, delicate, and spectacular. The Firefly squid. Living in the waters of Japan, Firefly squid produce brilliant blue light along their bodies and arms. At night, thousands gather to spawn. The sea becomes a field of stars. Their tiny lights serve several purposes: communication, camouflage, attraction, defense. One of their most remarkable tricks is counterillumination, matching the light from the moon and stars above the surface so that predators below cannot see their silhouette. They become invisible through light. This is creativity on a level only God could imagine. Not hiding in darkness, but hiding in brightness. Now look to the next creature. It glows not in blue, but in green. The seventh creature carries a green glow that seems almost supernatural. The Lanternfish. Lanternfish are among the most abundant bioluminescent creatures on Earth. They possess rows of glowing organs called photophores. These organs create a steady light that helps lanternfish communicate, camouflage, and coordinate in massive schools that migrate thousands of feet every night. Lanternfish perform the largest migration of animals on the planet, a vertical movement every single day, up to feed, down to hide, always guided by light. It is one of God's greatest displays of synchronized creation. But the next creature glows with a purpose almost like a beacon. The eighth creature uses light as a simple, pure signal, the cookie-cutter shark. This small shark is known for biting cookie-shaped holes out of larger animals. But its glowing underside is one of the most intriguing traits in the deep. The shark's belly shines with a soft green light. Why? Counterillumination again. A disguise. But with a twist, the cookie-cutter shark leaves one patch under its throat unlit. This dark patch creates the illusion of a small fish. Larger predators come close thinking it is prey. And instead, the cookie-cutter shark bites a perfectly circular chunk from the intruder. Even here, God's creativity is astonishing. A shark that uses light to deceive predators for survival. Not chaos. Design. But now we approach the creature with one of the most famous glows in all the ocean. The ninth creature glows with brilliant blue waves that move like flowing silk. The crowned jellyfish. This jellyfish produces bright blue pulses that travel across its bell in rhythmic sequences. Its glow is so intense that divers often describe it as underwater lightning. The purpose? Likely defense, possibly communication. A living crown of shimmering light moving through the dark. The glow of the crown jelly reminds us that even in the deep places where we cannot see, God fills his creation with radiance. As the psalmist wrote, even the darkness is light to you. And now we come to the final creature, the one whose brilliance surpasses them all. The 10th creature creates waves of light so bright they can illuminate entire shorelines. The bioluminescent plankton bloom. Not one creature, but billions. Dinoflagellates, Ostracods, copepods, a community of tiny organisms flashing with synchronized light. When waves crash, they glow. When water stirs, they shine. When darkness covers the sea, they turn it blue. These blooms can be so vibrant that satellite images capture their glow from space. A miracle on a microscopic scale. And yet, this is not chaos. It is chemistry. Enzymes meeting oxygen at the perfect moment. Energy released as light. All designed and sustained by the God who said, "Let there be light." These glowing waves are like a living reminder that God's light cannot be hidden. Whether in galaxies or in tiny plankton, his brilliance shines. Now step back. Look at what we've seen. Dinoflagellates that flash blue. Comb jellies that shimmer with rainbow movement. Ostracods that defend themselves with light. Anglerfish that hunt with lanterns. Atolla jellyfish that cry for help in brilliant rings. Firefly squid that paint the sea with blue sparks, lanternfish that glow in deep migrations, cookie-cutter sharks that deceive with green light, crown jellies that pulse with living electricity, and plankton blooms that turn whole oceans into glowing canvases. Each one declares the majesty of God, not just in beauty, but in purpose, not just in mystery, but in order. The Reformers taught that creation reveals God's invisible attributes. Bioluminescence is one of those revelations. Complex, precise, stunning, light in the darkness. Life glowing in places too deep for the sun to touch. A reminder that God shines where we cannot, sees what we cannot, illuminates what we cannot. So the next time you see glowing waves or a picture of a shining creature from the deep, remember this. These lights are not accidents. They're signatures. Signs of the God who fills his creation with wonder. Stay curious, stay amazed, and never forget that the darkest places often reveal the brightest truths about the God who made them.